Stepmother forced her to marry a crippled beggar, and what happened next will shock you. Lisa grew up in a house that was once overflowed with laughter, but after her mother left, everything changed. Her father remarried a beautiful yet heartless woman named Madam Grace, but at first, Grace pretended to care for Lisa, smiling sweetly, calling her "my dear," but soon she revealed her true nature, bitter and controlling. Lisa became a stranger in her own home. Grace and her spoiled daughter Fola enjoyed luxury, while Lisa did all the chores. Her father, Mr. Dewale, was blinded by Grace's charm. He ignored Lisa's tears and complaints, thinking peace came up from silence. But behind that false peace, darkness brewed. Grace began an affair with a wealthy businessman who showered her with gifts. But when Mr. Adewale discovered the affair, he confronted her in rage. "Grace, how could you do this to me?" he shouted. That night, she poisoned his tea. By morning, he was gone, and everybody believed it was an heart attack. Lisa was sad. Her only parent was no more, and her stepmother's reign became even harsher. She took full control of the family and declared, "You are no longer my daughter. You will marry whosoever I choose for you to marry." When Lisa turned 21, Madam Grace announced coldly, "There is a crippled man named Beggar who wants a wife. Since you are such a burden, you will marry him." Lisa cried and begged, but no one listened. Her father voiced, but he was no longer there. And so heartbroken and hopeless, Lisa was forced to marry a man she had never met, unaware that fate was quietly rewriting her story. Beggar arrived at the wedding in a plain chair. He looked humble, quiet and calm, a man with no pride left in him. The guests whispered, mocking Lisa's fate. Madam Grace smirked proudly, whispering to her daughter, "That is what she deserved." Lisa sat beside Beggar with solo eyes, but his voice surprised her. "You don't have to cry," he said softly. "Sometimes what looked like punishment can become purpose." Their small house on the outskirts of town was simple but peaceful, a sharp contrast to the chaos she left behind. Beggar worked on his laptop every day and thought. He said little about his past. He treated Lisa with unexpected gentleness. For the first time in years, Lisa felt safe. Beggar would often tell her, "You have been through enough pain here. Here you will find rest." Meanwhile, back home, Madam Grace's life began to shake. Her secret lover abandoned her, leaving her with debt. Her daughter, Fola, spoiled with careless, got pregnant by a drunkard neighbor. A scandal that spread like wildfire. The same people who once envied Grace now mocked her. Lisa heard of the scandal but remained silent. Had been her daughter never to laugh at another person's downfall. Still, she couldn't ignore the misery surrounding her husband. Sometimes she would catch him on calls with people who addressed him as sir. Once she found an expensive wristwatch on the table, clearly not something a poor man could afford. When she asked, he only smiled, a gift from a friend. Lisa didn't press further, but deep inside, she sensed that Beggar was hiding something. 3 months later, Lisa began noticing pattern. Visitors dressed in black suits often came to see her husband. They never stayed long, and they always addressed him with deep respect. Whenever she tried to ask questions, he would change the topic gently. One day, while cleaning his desk, Lisa discovered an envelope with a sleek business card. William, CEO of BMW, and she realized it was her husband. Her heart skipped a beat. She rushed to check online and nearly dropped her phone. BMW Holding was one of the largest companies in the country, and Williams, her husband, was rumored to be a mysterious billionaire who rarely appeared in public. Her hands trembled. Could it be the same man? That night, she confronted him. "Who are you really?" William sighed, meeting her gaze. "I am the same man you cared for, Lisa. I just didn't want you to love me for money." She stepped back, speechless. "So all this time you were testing me?" He nodded slowly. "I wanted a woman who would see my heart before my wealth. I disguised myself as a crippled because I was tired of fake love." Lisa's eyes swelled with tears. All the pain, humiliation, and obedience had brought her to this moment. He touched her cheek softly. "You passed the test." That night, Lisa couldn't sleep. Destiny had begun to reveal its hand. and it was far brighter than she could ever imagine. A week later, Beggar told Lisa to pack her bags. "We are leaving this house," he said with a mysterious smile. Outside, a convoy of luxury cars waited. Confused, Lisa followed him as they drove into the city. They arrived at a massive mansion surrounded by cameras, reporters, and security guards. "Welcome home, Mr. Williams," the guard shouted. Lisa froze. Mr. Williams stood up from his wheelchair, tall and strong. "You can walk?" she gasped. He smiled. "Yes, Lisa, I can walk. And from today, I'll walk beside you proudly as my wife." The crowd erupted in applause as he announced publicly, "Meet my wife, Lisa Williams, the woman who loved me when I was nothing." Reporters captured every word. The story spread across the nation overnight. Meanwhile, Madame Grace watched the news in disbelief. "What? That cripple is a billionaire," she screamed. Her words collapsed instantly. The man she mocked had become her greatest humiliation. Lisa's rise became the talk of the town, but it was only the beginning of Madame Grace's downfall. The next morning, Madame Grace stormed into Mr. Williams' mansion, fake tears streaming down her face. "Lisa, my daughter, please forgive me," she cried, falling to her knees. Lisa stood tall, wearing a calm smile. "Now I am your daughter. When my father was alive, you poisoned him," and laughed as I suffered. Grace froze. What are you saying?" Mr. Williams' voice cut through the silence. "We know everything. The investigation is complete. You killed your husband to hide your affair, and now you want mercy from his child?" Grace's face went pale. She tried to speak. Her voice trembled. "Please, I didn't mean to." Lisa turned away. "You destroyed a good man's life and turned mine into a misery. God will deal with you now." Security escorted out. The same week, police reopened her husband's case after Mr. Williams' lawyer presented new evidence. Grace was arrested quietly at night, her empire of pride collapsing completely. Meanwhile, Fola, her daughter, now heavily pregnant by a drunkard, faced public humiliation. The family that once boasted had become the talk of the shame. For Lisa, justice had come in full cycle. Though her father was gone, Lisa often visits his grave. "I forgive you, Papa," she whispered. "You didn't protect me, but I know you loved me." Mr. Williams, her husband, stood beside her, holding her hands. "Your father rests knowing his daughter found happiness." Lisa wiped her tears and smiled weakly. "He would have liked you," Mr. Williams nodded. "I would have liked him too, if only she hadn't taken him from you." As the wind blew gently, Lisa felt peace for the first time. The ghost of him past was finally silent. Meanwhile, Grace's story spread across the city. The woman who killed her husband and lost everything for greed. Fola gave birth alone, abandoned by the drunkard who denied responsibility. Their name became a lesson about pride, deceit, and consequences. Lisa and her husband used their wealth to create opportunities for others. "We will build a home for girls like you," her husband said. "Girls who were silent but survived. And together we will begin a new legacy. One born from pain but reborn through grace." Years later, a tall building stood proudly in the city, the Grace Home for Girls. Reporters gathered as Lisa and Mr. Williams caught the building, dedicating it to her late father. A journalist asked, "Why that name?" Lisa smiled. "Because despite everything, Grace found me. What was meant for evil became my blessing." Children ran towards her leg, hugging her legs. She said softly, her eyes glistening, "These children will never suffer like I did." Her husband wrapped his arms around her. "You turned pain into purpose, my love." Somewhere far away, Madame Grace sat in a small prison, watching the ceremony on an old TV, tears rolling down her cheek. Her daughter scandal, her husband died, her great agreed, it all led here. As the sun set over the mansion, Lisa whispered to her husband, "Thank you for loving me when I had nothing." He smiled. "Thank you for seeing me when no one else did." From betrayal came beauty, from pain became power, and from crippled disguise became love that changed everything. The girl once rejected became a queen, not by luck but by grace. Thank you for watching this story. To watch more story, please like this video, share this video, and please subscribe to this channel so you get to know when I upload new stories like this. Thank you.